Welcome! In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to find an image that you can use as the background for the PNG image you created last tutorial. Then combine those images in PowerPoint to get ready for writing. So I'm going to start by opening up PowerPoint. You could use the presentations tool in Google Docs or Keynote. I'm just going to click a white background, white or black, something clean and simple is the easiest. And then I find it just helps if you get rid of these text boxes. Right now you can see that my mouse looks like an eye, but if I move my mouse to that gray line around the edge of the text box, it'll turn into those crosshairs. So if you now click while you have those crosshairs, it will highlight that text box and allow you to erase it. If you click with that eye and try to erase it, it thinks you're trying to type. So we got to go to the edge to see the crosshairs, and then we can delete. So what I also like to do then is to take this slide, since it's highlighted, and just duplicate it so that I have a bunch of clean slides. The fastest way is to do Control D on your computer, or you can do Command D if you have an Apple. I'm going to need 6 slides because we did 6 pictures. You do as many slides as you're going to need. You can always add more later. Then I'm going to open up Firefox. You can use any browser. I am going to type in google.com if google.com isn't already your default that you open. So I'm going to type in basketball hoop, and I know I want it to be an outdoor court. The more details you put in your search, the easier it's going to be able to find something that is going to work for you. So the next thing you're going to do is click on images. Right now we're highlighted in web, so click on images and you'll see a bunch of options that will work. And you'll pick the one that fits you the best. Teachers, this is where you could decide to use the search tools and go to usage rights and change it for labeled for reuse with modification. Most of the time you're not really going to need to do that. When I've done that, it has still found some options that I can use. So if you click on an image that you like, you'll see a bigger version of it. If you right click on it or control click with an Apple, it'll give you a window. I'm going to click on copy image and then go back to PowerPoint, right click again or control click with an Apple and click on paste. And then here's an option. We can again click on these dots on the outside. See how right now it's a regular arrow, but when I go to the edge of the dot it turns into a diagonal arrow, and then that allows me to click on that area and stretch it out till it fills the whole slide. If it doesn't fill the whole slide, that's also fine. So I also want to show you another option. I happen to have another picture that will also show us something else. So I'm going to pop that picture in. It's on my desktop. I can just drag it and pop it into my PowerPoint. You'll see it doesn't take up the whole slide, and that's okay. So here we have 2 options for the same picture, just because I want to show you a couple things. So over here on the side, remember that I named my file layup.png, and it's sitting there on my desktop where I saved it. If you didn't save it there, that's fine. Find it and either drag it over like you can here, or you can just go up to PowerPoint to the toolbar at the top and click on Insert, and then you can go get a photo and choose Photo from File, Picture from File, and go find your picture that way, whatever's easiest for you. So here's my picture. You could decide that he was going to do kind of a backwards layup, but you might also want to flip him. So to do that, you have a couple options. One is to go to this Arrange feature up here. If you click on Arrange, you can flip, rotate or flip, rotate right. Play with these buttons until you get it how you like it. That might be what you want. And now he's kind of doing a layup. You might want it to look like he's even closer. So we could go to the edge and make him bigger. And then it's okay if his body gets cut off because we just won't see that part. Sometimes you don't want the feet in the image, sometimes you do. I just wanted to show you some of those options. If that part was bothering you or you wanted to cover him up or something, you could also use the crop tool If you click on the crop tools under format picture, sometimes you'd have to go here to format and format the picture. This way, it depends on your computer. But if you find format picture, then you can use these small areas that are black and they will crop your picture for you. So you could crop his foot off and just press enter, and then you can go back to your picture and you won't see that part of his foot anymore. You could do the same thing with the basketball. Because it's hanging off the edge, you won't see it anyway. But just wanted to show you that option that you can do different things to the pictures through format picture. So it may show up when you click on the picture, or you can go to format, and there's a bunch of different things you can do that you can explore on your own. Now let's look at this other picture. If I wanted to use that one, I would just pop this picture in. And it's already kind of how I want it, but maybe I want it a little smaller because this hoop is pretty small. He'd have to be pretty small. Then if you look on your pictures, there should be a green arrow kind of hanging out of one of them. If you hover over that green dot, you will see a curly arrow. That means you can click there and kind of rotate the picture. So maybe you want that picture to be rotated. He still looks kind of big, so I'm going to make him a little bit smaller because that basketball hoop would not fit through that basket. So maybe Matthew here is jumping and just laying that hoop in. Now remember, I told you that some of those edges, when we were making our PNG files, that we wouldn't see them very well, and you really can't see them at all here. I told you that it didn't need to be perfect. Same with this file. There are some little edges there and we could clean it up, but this is absolutely going to help you with your writing without all those little details done. So now your picture is in your screen. If you have more pictures that you need, you go back to your Google Images, find the image that you want. Make sure to add more information. If you want that basketball hoop to be indoors, say indoor, and then most of the pictures you get will be indoor. Some of them will be outdoor. The system isn't perfect, but adding more details will help you. Maybe you want basketball hoop gym because you want it to be in a gym because that's where you played basketball. It's all up to you and what you type in. And now that you have your images placed, you could start writing. So my notes are actually already showing down here where I can type. You might need to go to View, and there's a note that says Show Presenter Notes. Mine doesn't need that, but your version of PowerPoint might. So View, Show Presenter Notes if you don't already see it. So I'm going to click down here. Now I can use my picture to write. So if that was about me, I could see that I stretched my arm as far as it could go with the round orange basketball resting gently in my hand like an egg. Maybe an egg is something that you would try to hold gently, because it looks like I was definitely holding that very gently in that picture. So then you have your pictures, add them all in, come down here to write your notes about what's happening. I should be able to write so descriptively here that my reader is going to see this picture in their heads when they read my story.